Prepare yourself, guys. This is Chris talking through the medias, and I'm going to give my binge review of The Queen's Gambit, the Netflix miniseries original set in the Cold War era about an orphan who becomes a chess champion.
T3 Media.
Let's just hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think. Put it in the box below, and let's always talk about it on the upcoming We Got Your Mail. So, without further ado, the Queen's Gambit. I've been waiting to do this one for a long time. I watched it a while ago. Totally now agree with everyone who's thinking that this is the year of Anna Taylor-Joy. She's just been crushing it. Very beautiful girl. Her eyes, it's like future Catwoman potential here, guys. I mean, definitely. I cannot wait to see what she does in the future, especially with the Furiosa character. So I'm looking forward to that. But this isn't about that. This is about Queen's Gambit, and you're getting all this from a state chess champion, myself. That's right. You guys may not know about this, but I am a champion of chess and a teacher. I'm currently teaching my daughter how to play chess right now. I've already taught my oldest son. I can't wait until my youngest is also playing the game, and hopefully I'll have a new team here in the future. But so from a person who knows the game, who teaches the game, who loves the game, and is very good at the game, this was a very unique way of, I don't know how they did it, but they were able to make a movie about chess entertaining to people. I could tell that if you don't know how to play chess, they were able to capture it and make it compelling enough to where it didn't matter. You don't know why the little horsey is moving here and what happened and why this person is tilting the king and the game is over now. It doesn't matter. This movie was able to make it exciting and very sexy, I have to say, to the point where it captivated you. I'm pretty sure that there are people out there who are going to learn how to play chess now because of this series. I also was excited to find out that the late, great Heath Ledger was also working on this project years ago. He wanted to make this into a feature-length film, but it found a home on Netflix as a miniseries, and I would have probably been okay either way. We wouldn't have had Anna Taylor-Joy, so I'm very curious of who he would have cast as his lead back then, and to see how that would have gone. But from a chess player's point of view, I gotta say, because I wrote some notes down on this, and I'm just gonna go through them real quick. This is an A. Scott Frank original. He directed it and wrote this series, and he's a person who's received 2 Oscar nominations for Best Adaptation for a Screenplay for Out of Sight and Logan. So that explained to me why the story was just so damn good. So one thing I noticed while I was watching, I felt that the people that were around Beth Harmon were like pieces of the chessboard. And I know I'm probably stretching this. Like I said, I'm a chess player, so I was looking at it like that, how she was able to strategize, see 3, 4, 5, 10,000 steps ahead on her path to victory and to overcome the adversity that she came up in. And even though the bumps in the road along the way, the people that were in her life, I looked at them like chess pieces, especially when her collective group of teachers and other chess players all gathered together. That scene where they were encouraging her over the phone, I looked at that picture and I was like, I see chess pieces here. Pawns are considered the weakest pieces on the chessboard, but they are your soldiers. When they're united, can be the most powerful pieces unit-wise on the board. So the people who I consider pawns, like the characters who helped her develop along the way, weren't really that crucial to her overall training and things like that, but were very important as far as like stepping stones and things like that along the way. I looked at Mrs. Deirdre, who runs the Kentucky orphanage where Beth is taken after the death of her mother, I considered her a pawn. And the reason why is because of the fact that she allowed, even though sometimes it was reluctant, she allowed her to practice chess and learn how to play when they saw the potential really for the school, really. They thought they were using Beth, but Beth was really using them. So I looked at her as one of the key pieces on the board. There were many pawns, like the shopkeeper where she shoplifted from, things like that. Little things like that. I would consider those characters like the pawn. Now, so the main pawn on the board to me was Miss Deirdre, played by Christine Siddell. Let me know who you considered other pawns. I already mentioned the shopkeeper where she shoplifted from. I consider that a pawn. If you know the game of chess, let me know who you would consider pawns. The rooks. I looked at Matthew and Russell Dennis Lewis as Matt and Mike. I considered them the rooks because they were twins and they were, bookends. All very straightforward kind of guys. What did I write here? Matt and Mike meet Beth at her first chess meet and continue to pop up throughout the series to offer her pep talks, backup, or fun night away from the chess prep whenever she most needed it. They were very straightforward, and the rooks, they can't go diagonal. They can only go, straight or to the sides. And I felt like they felt like bookend kind of characters, especially being twins. They just felt like rooks to me. The people who got the knight label would be Henry Mellons as Harry Beltic. As with many of the young men in Beth's life, Harry goes from being a competitor to a friend to a love interest throughout the series. So I looked at him as a knight, like a shining armor person who came in, swooped in, and saved the day, rescued her, so to speak, a little bit. Not to the point where only during the times when she really needed, when she was bottoming out a little bit. Thomas Brody Sangster as Benny Watts, also to me was a knight character, yet another member of Beth's roster of competitors, turned friend, turned lover. Benny has the somewhat oxymoronic persona of the bad boy at chess, and which I don't know, it wasn't that believable for me, and plays a major role in getting Beth to the USSR to face down her Russian competitor. So he was also the maybe there's a reason why I chose the knights for these characters, love interest slash friend slash teacher, trainer. And I just felt like that was a knight in shining armor type of a role. Harry being like a white knight, Benny being like the black knight because he was dark and mysterious, that type of person. Harry being so hopeful and whatnot, trying to rescue her, trying to save her. Benny also feeling this, having those same feelings, but at the same time, he's wearing the black hat, so he's like, look, you don't treat me like that, don't call me no more. So I just felt like they came in when needed. They rescued her when she needed saving, and but they weren't afraid to fight with her. And hop over. If you know what I mean, if you know how the knights move, they can jump over pieces. So they were willing to hop over and go to the left and leave when it was necessary. Bishops. I looked at Moses Ingram as Jolene as a bishop. Jolene was already at the Home for Girls for a while when Beth arrived, and advises the younger girl to hoard the tranquilizer pills they're given each day, leading to the beginning of Beth's years-long dependency on pills. But the reason why I would look at Jolene as a bishop is because the bishops on the chessboard are the ones that are closest to the king and the queen. And bishops are like spiritual advisors. They have the queen's ear. So I would see her as the queen's bishop, and she was always giving her the advice. Even though it didn't seem like it at first, she just seemed like a wild child in the beginning. But throughout the series, whenever she would pop up, she was always there when you needed her, always on time, with a helping hand, spirit. It's almost like a spiritual thing, like the advice that she needed, the pep talk, the courage, and the strength to guide her. So it almost felt religious to me. So I felt like, to me, she played like a bishop type role. Another bishop would be Jacob Fortune Lloyd as D.L. Towns. Beth develops an almost immediate crush on Towns when they play the chess for the first time at a competition, culminating years later in an awkward one-on-one hangout full of a mixed signally confusion kind of interaction. But all was not lost. So Towner swoops back into her life later on in the episode to be a big part in getting Beth ready for her Russian matches. And I felt the same type, because even though her knights that she did sleep with, they were there for her more in a sexual or physical way, but she cared for DL more, even though she couldn't have him and didn't know why. That she didn't understand. If he was emotionally available, that would have probably been it, like love, marriage, all the things. She felt a connection with him that she just didn't understand. But the character turned out to not, play on the same team, so to speak, and it upset her at first, but overall it turned into a great and strong friendship. So, and also, like I said, like an advisor, he was there to give her the advice. It felt almost like a spiritual thing. That's why I would deem him another bishop. Beth herself was not a queen yet. I mean, she's obviously not. She's the player on the board. So a person. So I wouldn't dub her as a queen. So I would give that title to Marielle Heller as Alma Wheatley, her the lonely housewife who adopts her. And even though her husband leaves halfway through the series, she still keeps her as her daughter. She becomes that surrogate mother that Beth needed desperately, and their bond grew. She became, the reason why I dub her as a queen is because the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. It can move in all directions as far as the queen wants to go, and in any direction. And the traveling that they did, let's go to Moscow, let's go to France, let's go to here, and she funded it and helped her along the way, was a very powerful thing and what Bethany needed in her life. So the ability to let Beth travel all over the world is why I dubbed Alma as the queen on the board. So who would be considered the king? I called that Bill Kemp as Mr. Chabelle, her teacher, her original teacher, the janitor at the orphanage, the one who taught her the game, who first trained her and put her on this path originally. Not the most powerful piece on the board, very quiet, only can go in any direction, but one step at a time. He was very subtle. But because he was her teacher, her original teacher, and put her on this path, I would dub him the king, because the king is the most important piece on the board. Without him, there was no Bethany. He started it all for her. So the game was really put in motion because of him. So I would consider him the most important person in her life. So even though her adopted mother took her, further, he brought her to he gave her her first steps. And because a king can only go one step at a time when it's their turn, one square at a time, I looked at those little steps, but those steps are very powerful because the king can go in any direction. One of the most vulnerable pieces on the board, if the king's checkmate, that's it, the game's over. So without him, there was no her. So that's why I dubbed him as the king. As far as like if I was to say opponent pieces, obviously that would be Marcin, or I'm sorry, I'm gonna say his last name wrong. Dorosinski as Vasily Borgov. Bogov looms large in this series as Beth's number one competitor. They first go head-to-head at Mexico City competition, the loss of which haunts Beth for years before meeting up again in Bogov's native Russia at the series climax. In real life, that actor is actually Polish, with the majority of his work in Poland film industry. And I thought that was interesting. Fun fact, he did the Polish dubbing for Kylo Ren in Star Wars The Force Awakening. So as far as like, if you want to say like he was the king on the other side of the board, the opponent side, that would be, he was that major piece on the board, probably the king. And when you toppled him, that was checkmate. That was the end of the whole ball game. Overall, what did I think about the movie? Hey, like I said, if you love chess, this was a great series. It was wild. It was funny. It was fun. It was very sexy. And if you don't know how to play chess or like chess, it was all those things too. There's a reason why this stayed number one in Netflix for a long time. It's probably still in the top 10 right now. Go check it out. It was a great series. Anna Taylor-Joy, I mean, like I said, this is her year. From Emma to New Mutants to the news about Furiosa. It's hot. Look, I understand the humble tweet where you're like, I don't know why people are paying attention to me. You are. I'm telling you, future. I would be shocked if she's not cast as a future, or at least in the running in the future to play Catwoman. Her look is so unique. It could be a callback to the old Batman series. Her eyes are gorgeous. She has this very unique look, and her acting. I see Oscar in her future. If she stays on this path, there's an Oscar someday in her future. If she continues on this path, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I'm surprised it took me this long. It took this series for me to really get on the bandwagon. I'm going to catch up to all the movies that I haven't seen of her yet, and I can't wait to check them all out. But overall, guys, that was my review, the binge review of The Queen's Gambit. What did you guys think? Let me know how you feel about the series, what you think about Anna and what her future holds. Put it in the box below. Let's keep talking about it, and then let's talk about it on We Got Your Mail. I'm Chris Fagan, and until next time, guys,